Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this Warcraft Rumble dungeon guide video, I'm going to take a look at Deadmines on Horde week and in particular a Cairne army with no talents that I used to clear all the way to orange difficulty. First, let's recap the boss mechanics. First, we have Mr. Smite here. Sabers and pistols then anchors away, and Mr. Smite it's really a tough fight because Mr. Smite is going to get so much stuff for free. All of this stuff is going to respawn for free. These device bandits are going to respawn for free. There's going to be Stonehoof torrents that are going to come through this pipe. They're also going to be free, and that's in addition to everything that Mr. Smite has to actually pay gold for. So that's a big challenge. My main strategy for Mr. Smite is to take this meeting stone and control this area where there's 2 gold nodes. There's 1 gold vein over there on the other side. But I want to control this and I want to push at Mr. Smite from this side. And I'm mostly focused on defending the other side. There are various methods to defend that. Some people like to use like wellbecks that they drop on the pipe to intercept the torrents. You can split your footmen, for example, here. There's a few things that you can do to defend, but hit from the right and kill Mr. Smite. The second boss in Deadmines is Cookie, and Cookie is also going to get a ton of stuff for free just like Mr. Smite, although this is in some ways a little bit more manageable for him, because there's going to be these strike teams, and they're going to come from the left and then from the right, and then they're going to go down the same lane. So you need some way to handle this strike team. Some people use like Flame Burst Wellbeck, some people use Living Bomb, some people use Blizzard. Living Bomb is my personal favorite. With a Living Bomb, if you use it when they're near the tower, then they may blow up the tower depending on the level of your Living Bomb. If you use it already when they're here near the Cookie, then they will also damage Cookie when they blow up. So Living Bomb is just what I love to use in this map. I typically only take this leftmost tower. There's a couple of chests here and you have access to mining this. Typically only take the left tower, blow up stuff with Living Bomb and push at Cookie. Taking the other towers, some other strategies too, but that's the one that I like to use. And finally, the third boss in Deadmines is Sneed, and Sneed's main mechanic is these copying pads. Whenever these pads sparkle, the next mini that's going to step on them is going to be destroyed, and it's going to be made into multiple copies that come from here under Sneed's control. Sneed also has Molten Giants, so if you let a Molten Giant get on the pad when it's sparkly, and then there's going to be a whole bunch of Molten Giants, and that's going to be a bit of a problem. There's a couple of things about this map. One is that this bridge is actually really important, because if you control this bridge and if you have ranged minis on this bridge, then they will shoot down at whatever comes out from here. So I've actually defeated Molten Giant pushes by just having minis shoot from here and then killing the Molten Giants. And another thing is that you actually have some control over what's going to be copied, because if you use Unbound minis, you can just drop Unbound minis here when the platform becomes sparkly, and then that mini is going to be copied. Or you can use Unbound minis to distract the Molten Giant to prevent it from getting copied. It's also a good idea to send miners constantly over the bridge, mine this, go over the bridge, because then your miners will often end up being copied. So you can work around this mechanic a bunch. Other than that, I like to push left, I like to take this tower, then I take this tower, and then I push at Sneed from here, and then Sneed will die unless too many bad things get copied and I somehow get overwhelmed by those. This is the Cairne army that I've been using. I'm using Cairne, Frostwolf Shaman, Batrider, Safe Pilot, Defiance Bandits, Living Bomb, and Footmen. I have made one change since I built the Grommash list. In Grommash list I used Pyromancer, and in this one I'm using the Frostwolf Shaman, because there are 2 Horde slots, and if you want to use Horde minis, then Shaman and Batrider are the best Horde minis for this dungeon. So I'm trying to get a little bit more levels, so using another Horde mini. And Shaman does work quite alright even without Earthshield. Earthshield Shaman is of course much better, but it's still doable with this. I'm using Living Bomb for the Cookie, for the second boss, because without Flame Burst, Wellbecks just don't do it, and then it's either Living Bomb or it's Blizzard, and I think Living Bomb just does the job so much better, so Living Bomb is my choice. Also, without the Flame Burst eggs, I need Footmen in order to have a good chance on the first map. So Footmen for some split pushes there, and then just Cairne and Shaman helping them out, and Batrider bringing some DPS. Defiance Bandits being generally useful, just stunning everything, just helping with all maps, opening some chests as well. And Safe Pilot just giving some damage when it's needed. In third boss you can drop that on the bridge as well, and just destroy anything that's copied and goes under the bridge. So just wonderful things. And this is what it all looks like. in action. So here we go, Cairne, orange difficulty. And the opening relic, some bloodlust. First up, we're up against Mr. Smite, and in this one I like to take the Meaning Stone on the right, and I like to focus on this right lane, get those gold veins and push from there. Defend on the left, use largely split push footmen, for example, to defend. Here I have a little bit of an awkward opening hand. I'm trying to figure out some way to defend, and now I get the footman out there. My base takes unpleasant damage at the start, but the power of the footman, the Batrider Cairne, is enough. And now, because I didn't have a suitable unbound to use on taking the stone, I'm directing my first push to go through the stone. Later on I will go through the gold veins, but now I go through the stone that's so I'll capture the stone, because if I leave the stone to the enemy, then there's going to be real nasty pushes coming from there. Safe pilot now is needed for defense, killing the troll, killing some of those spiderlings, and now there's a Tauren coming, more damage to my base, which is really unpleasant, but Defies Bandits with the stun and Batrider with the DPS will handle that. So this was not a great start. My base took more damage than usual in the start, but what I have going here is a pretty strong Shaman Footman push with Bloodlust on Mr. Smite, which means that now we're just going to send in a little bit more DPS. Now I'm thinking whether I need to defend against that Tauren or whether I can focus on trying to get Mr. Smite down. I'm just constantly monitoring the situation with the Tauren. Do I need to play something out there to fight against the Tauren, or do I not? So far I have figured I'm fine, but now the Tauren is approaching. I need something else there. I can't let the Tauren charge in the base, so I will have to use Cairne to defend against that. And I'll drop a Batrider out there to defend against that too. But our fight against Smite is still going on, and it goes well, and Smite goes down. Next up is Cookie. I managed to find a Band of the Protector, so my tank minis cost one less, which means that I will have more gold at my disposal. That's always nice. So here I'm going with the Living Bomb strategy. I want to Living Bomb the first wave when they reach that tower, so that then they're just going to mostly die, at least all the ranged minis are going to die, and the tower is going to take a lot of damage, and boom! There we go. My Living Bomb a little bit underleveled here, so it didn't actually kill those minis, but because I have Batrider plus Footman, I'm very confident that I can take it. There I was a little late with my miner. Usually I would be able to get the miner out there before they get their miner out there, so that I would just mine, but now I had to use a safe pilot to deny mining, which I'm not super happy about, but okay. It was important to deny the mining, get the 2 gold for myself. And we're still fine, we're going for another push here. We also get some chests unlocked, and now I need to be ready with a Living Bomb, and here goes the Living Bomb. A little late, just some seconds, so they didn't damage Cookie, but it did kill the entire wave. The wave on the right side is smaller than the wave on the left side. The wave on the right side typically always dies to a Living Bomb, whereas the left side, some of those melee DPS characters can survive that, but they can then be cleared up, for example, by a Batrider. And we have a really good push going here. We have the Shaman, we have the Cairne, and Cookie is going down. So now only the final challenge remains. Sneed is still here. I don't want to give up on that chest, so I get enough power out there to fight against the chest. I get my Shaman in, I get my Miner out there. The first copy is always going to be those Sappers. Batrider typically is wonderful against those Sappers, so let's go. Just blast those Sappers down and grab that tower. I want to keep sending stuff over there to the copier. As you can see, the copier is now active. That would have copied a miner from the enemy though. But, well, my Defies Bandits can kill that enemy miner. Now my miner got copied, but that's no big deal. I got the first tower with the first push. That's excellent news. Then we can start sending stuff towards the tower. And we're going for an attack. And my minis are also delaying the Molten Giant. I hope they're delaying it enough that I can get my mini out there. And now I have to try to respond with the Unbound, but actually from the other copier, what I didn't notice was the Stonehoof Tauren arrived from there. That is a little inconvenient. Now my push is facing pressure from both sides, but there are still a lot of footmen out there, so it's not all that bad. But I also have to try to defend against the Molten Giant. And Molten Giant with a Batrider, and I don't currently have anything that can kill a Batrider, so I have to sacrifice a bunch of footmen. This was not the greatest defense of all time, but it did work out well enough. I did get the Molten Giant down, I managed to kill the Tauren, and I'm still pushing at the tower, and the tower actually has already fallen. And I'm getting some chests, so alright, things are looking up. Now, another Stonehoof Tauren copied there. I was thinking it would be a Batrider. I was ready to get the safe pilot on the bridge to fight against the Batrider, but now I still use the safe pilot on the bridge, killing the Batrider that was on the bridge and then starting to fight against the Tauren. There's an Ogre Mage coming. I will counter that with Cairne. Copier is active again, and this time it copies a bunch of whelps, which is fine. That's totally acceptable. Let's try to get some push going. That's actually so many whelps that my base is under attack. I'm wondering whether I need to send a safe pilot out there. Then I decided, okay, I don't have to. Now it's a Molten Giant and Batrider, so yeah, things are not looking as good as they could, especially with the safe pilot denying the mining from me, but it should be fine. The base is taking away the rest of the Batriders. I got some with the safe pilot. A squad of footmen are still a challenge for the Molten Giant. We also get the chest. Copiers are active again. I want to send something out there to be copied real quick. Should have paid a little bit more attention. I could have used that miner to actually mine. There's 3 gold nodes available. So now I threw away a miner and I'm a little bit lower on economy. Yeah, things haven't been going ideally, but they're not all that bad either. Now we just need to cycle to get a miner going, because I would really need to find a miner. Now it appears that Cairne is being copied. Well, I have Batriders on the bridge. That bridge control is really, really crucial. As you can see, 2 Batriders on the bridge, and even though the opponent got a big bunch of Cairns, those Cairns are still going down. Alright, overtime time. And then there's Batriders again. But we can drop a safe pilot on those Batriders. As you can see, the bridge control, that really being the key. But now we're being in overtime, that means that I would have to start to get attacking. Sometimes I get too focused on defense at this point. Like, even if a Molten Giant gets copied here with 38 seconds left, I will need to keep pressing the attack. This is the moment when I need to keep pressing the attack and ignore defense. So now 30 seconds remaining. We're trying to get stuff out there, and we do. We have Batriders, we have footmen, and I would need to try to cycle towards the safe pilot so that I can just get some more pressure on Sneed, and Sneed does go down. Phew. Well, easy. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.